I'm Richard Southern in the 680 newsroom. It's the company that created the automobile as we know it today. But Ford now says it's going to pretty much stop making cars. Yes, you heard correctly. Instead, Ford says it's going to make mostly SUVs and pickup trucks. Company says it's going to get rid of the Fiesta, the Taurus, the C-Max Hybrid. 90% of the vehicles it will make by the year 2020 will be crossover SUVs and trucks. This is because it's where the demand is. We've seen sales of sedans plummet. Sales of SUVs, though, going right through the roof. We heard as well from General Motors about plans by that company to do more or less the same thing. It's the death of the sedan. All right, meantime, new report out looking at just how difficult it is for so-called millennials to get into the housing market here in Toronto. We know it's a tough housing market, but especially so if you're a first-time buyer. Royal LePage says millennials have seen their home buying power drop by some 40,000 since the new mortgage rules went into place. You need about a $200,000 down payment now to get into the market. Top story with Royal LePage says millennials are still buying, but just further afield.
They have bought properties out in Whitby, and they're actually renting in the city, and they're working in the city. But they know in 5 years they're going to move back out into that house and build a family, and they just didn't want to miss out on getting into the market. So there's different approaches. What I've also seen is for the people that maybe don't have the down payment right now, but they know over the next few years they will, they've started looking at the new construction market, so buying a pre-construction condo in Toronto. They know they're paying maybe slightly higher per square foot than resale, but the 20% down payment is staggered over a 3-year period, so they have more time to save up for it.
The average home in the GTA above $780,000. The average condo now above $500,000. Interesting news in from WestJet Airlines. Remember, there was that fatal accident involving a Southwest plane just the other week. And Southwest says that accident has led to lower bookings. It says its planes are a little bit less full now. A passenger died last week when a fan blade broke off an engine. Shrapnel broke the window, and the passenger sitting in the window seat lost her life, unfortunately. The airline said it's seeing softness in bookings following the accident and that earnings will be a bit lower as a result going forward. WestJet is facing a potential strike. We've never seen this before because it's only recently that the pilots have organized and formed a union, and it is the pilots union that has begun voting on a strike. Voting will continue for 15 days. Pilots have been without a contract since negotiations began in September, and according to the union, the sides are far apart on things like working conditions, compensation, and job security. Well, if you're anything like me, putting together those IKEA flat pack furniture things are not easy at all. Now researchers at a technological university in Singapore, they've come up with a robot to do it for you. Take a look at this. It's a machine capable of assembling an IKEA chair in 20 minutes flat. We've sped it up a bit. This, they say, is actually the ultimate test of robot dexterity because it's hard for robots to make little movements like this. So it's really not so much a robot to put your IKEA furniture together, but just to prove how far robotics have come. The robot completed the job, put the chair together again in 20 minutes flat. Well, Will and Kate have yet to name the third royal baby. We know it's a boy, but they're still putting big money down on this in England. Let's take a look at the updated royal baby name odds. It's now Alexander leading the way, followed by Arthur, James, Albert, Philip's an 8-to-1 shot, Thomas a 14-to-1 bet, Richard 33-to-1. The odds have improved a little bit on that, and Francis a 40-to-1 bet. In the 680 newsroom, Richard Southern, City News.